How many days? Where are we?
47 days till the weekend. 47 days till the weekend, Stephanie.
Woohoo! Okay. Mr. Chairman, we have so many issues to talk about, and yet I know the only one anyone cares about right now is our vote going to be counted? And God bless you. I know you are working on this. One of the headlines that made me the most is the amount of lawyers that the Biden campaign has hired because we're going to need them, right? I mean, the Attorney General of the United States yesterday was putting out all these crazy conspiracy theories about mail-in voting. I mean, it seems clear their intention is going to be to try to suppress the vote as much as they can, to argue the vote, to argue that mail-in votes don't count. Can we just play some of this for you real quick? Where is this? Okay, let's do 14. This is the Attorney General of the United States yesterday.
It's a terrible danger. I said today, just think about the way we vote and why do we vote the way we vote now, where you have a precinct that you're assigned to, your name is on a list, you go in and say who you are, you go behind a curtain, no one's allowed to go in there to influence you, and no one can tell how you voted. All of that is gone with mail-in.
Chairman, can you explain how states for years, including red states like Utah, have been voting by mail? You do not lose the secret vote by voting by mail, correct?
Well, that's absolutely right. And Washington State, Utah, Oregon, California, Florida, by the way. And Republicans had for many years, a pretty strong advantage in vote by mail in Florida. And the reason they don't now is we're out hustling them. And that's called organizing, Stephanie.
Yeah.
It's safe, it's secure. They're just trying to scare folks. And let me just be real clear. 47 days. In most states, you have options. Choose the option that suits you best. If you want to vote in person on election day. If you want to vote early in person, and many states have up to 2-3 weeks of early in-person voting, that's a great way to comply with social distancing rules. And if you want to vote by mail, be assured that it's safe and secure, but also make sure you make a plan. iwillvote.com is one-stop shopping. No matter where your listeners are today, they can go to iwillvote.com. You can get all the information about registration, about your precincts, about the early voting locations, all of that. Make a plan. I am a big believer, Stephanie, control what we can control. And for all your listeners, you can control how and when you vote. And make a plan early. I think that for people who want to vote by mail, and then again, it's safe and secure. The one piece of advice I would give you is do it early. The Wisconsin absentee ballots for those who applied have started to go out. And the advice I give people in Wisconsin is get that ballot, fill it out, make sure you comply with all their requirements, and send it right back in.
Thank you. Because here's, okay, let me just, I hate to do this to you because you know I love you. Here's one more Bill Barr.
There's no secret vote. You have to associate the envelope in the mailing, the name of who's sending it in, with the ballot. So there's no more secret vote on mail-in vote. You can never a secret vote prevents selling and buying votes because you can never say
correct.
Okay. So now we're back in the business of selling and buying votes.
What?
And the capricious distribution of ballots means harvesting, undue influence, outright coercion.
They're doing it now. They're all
paying off a postman and saying, "Hey, here's a few $100. Give me some of your ballots."
2000.
These are crazy conspiracy theories, right? But the point you're going to your point, Chairman, while I played that, is about voting early, because this is what he's setting up. Listen to this last one about mail-in votes.
Liberals project. The president is going to stay in office and seize power and all this.
Fascism.
I've never heard of that crap.
Right.
I mean, I'm the Attorney General. I would think I would heard about it. I've heard about it, okay? They're projecting. They are creating an incendiary situation where there's going to be loss of confidence in the vote. It'll be a close vote. People will say, the president won Nevada. Oh, wait a minute. We just discovered 100,000 ballots. Every vote must be counted. Yeah, but we don't know where these freaking votes came from.
This is they're laying the groundwork to say that mail-in voting's, look, where are these votes coming from? Well, they're coming from mail, by the mail, which is how they've done it in every state. But that's what they're going to do, aren't they? Is try to say these are illegitimate votes, right?
I think some of the most relieved family in America right now may be the family of John Mitchell, the disgraced former Attorney General, because I think he may no longer be the worst Attorney General in United States history.
Yeah.
I mean, these incendiary comments by Mr. Barr are just it's conduct unbecoming any lawyer, and it's conduct really unbecoming the person who's supposed to be the people's lawyer. So folks, you're going to hear more of this between now and Election Day. You can take that to the bank. You're going to hear more of it from Trump. And as Stephanie has correctly pointed out to you, vote by mail isn't simply in states like Oregon and Washington. It's in states like Utah. 80 to 90% of the vote in Arizona, a state you know well, Stephanie, a state that's near and dear to your family's heart. 80 to 90% of the vote this November in Arizona will be vote by mail. Yeah. Florida, probably about half. And it's going to be a close race in Florida. And Republicans and Democrats will use it. Now, Democrats, we have been organizing in Florida, encouraging our people to use vote by mail there. We have a lot of seniors who have health issues, and we want to make sure that they can vote safely. 4 years ago, Stephanie, this is an important point, because people ask, well, what are you guys doing now that you can't really knock on doors in a safe manner? We've been organizing virtually. 4 years ago, we had a 20,000 person vote by mail advantage, Democrats over Republicans in Florida. At this moment, it's 731,000 person vote by mail advantage, because we've been organizing in Florida. Same thing in North Carolina. They're already voting in North Carolina. And again, a big advantage because we're organizing, and that's how you win elections. You organize.
And I want to reiterate your point again and again, Chairman, about voting early, given everything that they're already signaling they're talking about, because I think that's the main thing that people are concerned about, is they're trying to suppress the vote by making you think it's not going to count, or if it gets there too late. This tool that you've come up with, you just said I will vote, and by the way, it's in Spanish as well, correct?
iwillvote.com or voyavotar.com, depending on your language of preference.
Because I don't know if you've heard, the U.S. Post Office is even putting out, of course, because run by Trump and being destroyed by DeJoy, they're putting out false information. The chairman can't emphasize enough. Every state has different rules. Go to iwillvote.com, because they're sometimes putting out misinformation, because the rules may be different in your state, correct? So
right.
You can... I was just going to say, so this will help you. You can request a ballot online, request a ballot by email, print and mail their request. You can request a prepaid return envelope. So iwillvote.org, right?
You can do everything on iwillvote.com.
.com.
Really,
I'm sorry, .com.
It is one-stop shopping. And again, your listeners are from all over the country. And I'm here to tell you, wherever you're living, you can go to iwillvote.com. The entire Democratic, actually, it's not just for Democrats, by the way. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, go use it. And those who have concerns about the mail, I understand that. I mean, the Secretary of State in Colorado just got an injunction against the U.S. Postal Service for sending out inaccurate information to voters. And again, I think the most important thing you can do if you don't have confidence in the Postal Service is simply to get your ballot in early. I've spoken to the Postal Workers Union, and they're dedicated career professionals who take pride in what they do. Now, what we have to do is continue to make sure that people above their pay grade are giving them the tools they need, because they take pride in making sure that they're part of the democratic process. But again, voters have an option. If you want to vote by mail, do it. But I think the safest thing to do would be to just do it early.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's one I wanted to ask you about. In Georgia, 1.6 million voters have been taken off the voter rolls without their knowledge in the past decade. That's the first thing I keep telling voters, Chairman, is check and recheck your registration, because that's the first wave of voter suppression, isn't it? Is you don't even know you've been knocked off the rolls.
Well, and I'm Tommy One Note. The remedy for that is to go to iwillvote.com, because the first thing that you do is you check your voter registration status. And Stephanie, one thing we did at the DNC toward that end, because I prosecuted, when I led the Civil Rights Division, a number of voter purge cases against states and localities that were unlawfully purging voters from the rolls. The Secretary of State of Ohio is a prolific voter purger, the Republican Secretary of State. Yeah. And what we've done now is we developed a new tool at the DNC And a number of organizations out there have been availing themselves of it, where it's a purge tool. So they can go in and you can do a query. You can go to state A and say, give me all the voters over the last 6 months who have been taken off the rolls. You can even go, give me all the African-American voters who've been taken off the rolls, because oftentimes purges have been very targeted at voters of color. And so this tool we developed is enabling people to get a handle on that and then go to these boards of elections and take action. And we did that in Kentucky in 2019. And we got 175,000 people put back on the voter rolls. And Governor Andy Beshear won that race by 5,200 votes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and, certainly we talk about down ballot all the time, Chairman, and there's a lot. Lindsey Graham is tied with Jamie Harrison. That is winnable. Susan Collins
totally
is
winnable.
way behind in Maine.
Yeah.
We can, we gave you a blue wave in 2018, Chairman. We need to give you a blue tsunami. We've got to keep the House, get the Senate back. We obviously get the White House. We have so much damage to repair. I mean, you talked about the Atlantic story, about where do you even start with his disrespect for our troops and, bounties on our soldiers' heads and, they're suckers and losers, and right up to Bob Woodward's, where we hear him talking about that he lied to the American people about the worst health crisis in our history. I mean, yeah.
Right. And I think, this president is going to pay a price. I mean, you look at the poll from the Military Times that had Biden ahead of Trump by 4 points. And that was, by the way, before the story came out about from suckers and losers. This was before that.
Yeah.
And, in places like North Carolina, Florida, Arizona, Texas, there are so many both current military, retired military, former military, and they take this stuff very, very seriously. So we have, Joe Biden practices the politics of arithmetic. He believes that addition beats subtraction any day of the week. And you look at our convention. Our convention welcomed everyone. It wasn't simply an effort to unite the party. It was an effort to unite the nation. And that's why we invited the likes of John Kasich and others. And I disagree with John Kasich on a number of things, but I applaud him for stepping forward and saying the guardrails of democracy have been obliterated by this president. You must vote for Joe Biden.
Well, the hashtag really is what's going around. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
It surely does. Talk to Dreamers. Their future is on the ballot.
Yeah.
Because the Supreme Court has said you can eliminate the Dreamer program, but you have to do it. You have to follow the right process. So Dreamers are on the ballot.
Yeah.
Our democracy, as we know it, is on the ballot. And the point you made a couple minutes ago is so important, Stephanie, and that is these state legislative races. We have flipped 10 legislative chambers over the last 3 years. That is really important. If we win 48 seats in 10 legislative chambers this November, we flip those chambers.
Yeah.
And again, what's going to happen next year? Redistricting. It is huge. We picked a lousy year, 2010, to get our butts kicked.
Yeah.
And paid a price for it for the next decade. We now have an opportunity to turn the tables by winning these races, and we're focused like a laser. Again, Arizona is near and dear to your heart.
Not really. I know it freaks you out as Democratic chairman to see the Goldwater Miller thing over because that's the same background in Roger Stone's apartment. But my point is, I was only 3. I've been a liberal for a long time.
No, but I love that. But they would be Democrats today, is my point.
Yes.
And Arizona, though, 2 seats in the Senate, 2 seats in the House, 3 seats in the Senate, and we have a democratically controlled 2 chambers there. That's huge.
I could be being happy clappy, but I really feel like, if you're looking at the polling, Chairman, him saying he's going to have a vaccine by the election, and, whatever Barr's cooking up with John Durham or Ron Johnson is working on with someone that was just sanctioned as a Russian agent, that he's, actively putting out Russian disinformation. I just don't feel like it's going to work this time, like it worked in 2016. I think we are wise to what happened, and I really believe that. I don't know what you think.
Well, and I agree with you, but I guess what I would say again is you can expect that you'll hear more just outrageous statements from the Attorney General, more outrageous statements from the President. He will continue to lie. You will see October surprises. And folks, don't let it get you down. Be determined.
We don't agonize. We
Make a
organize.
plan. Exactly. When they go low, we go vote. And when they go lower, we get all our friends who are eligible to vote out there to vote with us. So that's what all your listeners need to do.
Yep.
Take it upon yourself every single day. What did I do to help Joe Biden and Kamala Harris make history today? And then when you go to bed at night, ask yourself the same accountability question. Did I do what I set out to do this morning?
I will vote
every single day.
.com. My favorite thing is you called yourself Tommy in this interview, and my other favorite thing is when Travis is getting you set up on iPad, he literally has to say, "Tommy, can you see me? Tommy, can you hear me?"
I'm a big Who fan, so I can do that all day.
You'll always be Mr. Chairman to me. All right, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Keep up the good work.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Have a great day.
You
Thank
too.
you for all you do.